Hi everyone, እንዴት ናችሁ? I'm ተስፋዬ። ዛሬ እንግዲህ ቮሊዩም ኦቨርሎድ ያላቸውን ፔሸንቶች ስፔሻሊ ስለ ዳዩሬቲክ ቻሌንጅ እና ዳዩሬቲክ ሬዚስታንስ ፔሸንት ማኔጅመንት የሚለውን የምናይ ይሆናል። እንደዚሁም ስለ አሃ 2022 እና ESC 2021 ሪሰንት ጋይድላይን ምን ሪኮሜንዴሽን እንዳላቸው አብረን እናያለን። ነገር ግን ሁላችሁም ፕሮሲድ ከማድረጋችሁ በፊት መረጃው ለብዙዎች እንዲደርስ ይህን ቻናል ሰብስክራይብ እንድታደርጉ በትህትና ጠይቃለሁኝ። ስለዚህ ዛሬ ስለ ክሊኒካል ፕሬዘንቴሽናቸው ሳይንስ ሲምፕተም እና ሪስክ ከማየታችን ታይም ለመቆጠብ እሱን ማየቱን ባይፓስ እናደርገውና ቀጥታ ስለ ኮንጀክሽን ዊዝ ቮሊዩም ኦቨርሎድ ያላቸው ፔሸንት ማኔጅመንት ይሆናል። ስለዚህ የመጀመሪያው ጥያቄ መጠየቅ ያለብን does the patient is loop diuretic naive or not የሚለውን ይሆናል. If the patient is previously on Lasix, we should start with the starting dose 2 times 24 hours oral dose IV ማለት ነው. ነገር ግን if the patient is on Lasix previously, we should start with the dose of 20 to 40 milligram of Lasix equivalent dose IV ማለት ነው. Then we should ask to the empty the bladder and start urine output collection. and ሁለት ነገር ነው ሞኒተር የምናደርገው። የመጀመሪያው urinary sodium after 2 hours ይሆናል። ሌላኛው the urine output after 6 hours ማለት ነው። so እነዚህን ነገሮች if the urine sodium is more than 50 and 6 hours urine output is more than 100 to 150 ml per hour, if yes to these two questions, we should ask does the patient still has persistent congestion or not. If the patient has persistent congestion, we should repeat similar dose of IV loop diuretic every 12 hours. But for these two questions, if the urine output is less than 100 ml per hour for 6 hours, we should double the IV loop diuretic dose and assess within the next 6 hours. Again, look for these two parameters and still if the urine output is less than 100 ml per hour and urinary sodium less than 50 milliequivalent per liter, we should repeat until the maximum dose of the loop diuretic is reached ማለት ነው። ስለዚህ የመጀመሪያው 24 hours ማኔጅመንት በሶስት እንከፍለዋለን። አኪዩት ትሪትመንት ፌዝ የመጀመሪያው ዊዝን 1 hour ነው ኢኒሺየት የምናደርግበት። the next early evaluation phase የምንለው ማለት ነው the first 6 hours after Lasix initiation ነው ወይም patient admission. then the third phase is early response phase የምንለው ነው ቀሪዎቹ ሰዓቶች within the first 24 hour ማለት ነው። regarding the second day, we should evaluate 24 hour urine output. If the 24 urine output is less than 3 to 4 liter, we should double the loop diuretics until the maximum dose is reached. Then we should assess within next 6 hours. Again, if the urine output is less than 100 ml per hour and if the maximum loop diuretic dose is reached, we should consider combination of diuretic therapy. Regarding combination, the first line is thiazide diuretics, second line is acetazolamide or amiloride, and third line is sodium glucose transporter to inhibitor. It is a new drug. ስለዚህኛው ስለ acute heart failure management ስናወራ የምናየው ይሆናል ማለት ነው። again እነዚህንም አድ አድርገን still if the patient has persistent congestion, we should consider ultrafiltration ማለት ነው the next management. ነገር ግን if the urine output on the second day is more than 3 to 4 liter per day, we should continue the current dose until the patient is decongested ማለት ነው። ስለዚህ እንዳጠቃላይ ስለ ዳዩሬቲክ ቻሌንጅ ስናወራ መጀመሪያ ፔሸንቶችን ክላሲፋይ እናደርጋቸዋለን። ዳዩሬቲክ ናይቭ ወይም ደግሞ ዳዩሬቲክ የማይወስድ ከሆነ የመጀመሪያው ቻሌንጅ የሚሆነው ቻሌንጅ ብናደርገው ላሲክስ 20 to 40 ሚሊግራም ይሆናል። but if the patient is previously on diuretic, 1 to 2 times of the 24-hour oral dose ይሆናል ማለት ነው። regarding Lasix, its onset is within 30 minutes with peak at 1 to 2 hours, and the maximum daily dose for loop diuretic is generally 400 to 600, but sometimes up to 1 gram may be considered in patient with severely impaired kidney function. ሌላው there is a trial called dose trial የሚባል አለ low dose versus high dose lasix. So high dose relief symptom but not that much significant, and another study shows continuous infusion versus bolus. There is no difference between that. Regarding monitoring, we should monitor the input output, daily weight, urinary sodium, especially strongly recommend on ESC 2019 guideline. Potassium, magnesium, and renal function should be monitored. On the level of evidence, loop diuretic, it is class 1 recommendation. Adding thiazide diuretic for non-responding patient, it is class 2 recommendation. ሌላው ኢምፖርታንት ማየት ያለብን ስለ diuretic resistance ለሆኑ ፔሸንቶች ይሆናል. It is defined as impaired sensitivity to diuretic resulting in reduced natriuresis and diuresis, limiting the possibility to achieve euvolemia ነው. ESC clearly define የሚያደርገው it is inadequate response ነው. ያ ማለት urine output ከ100 to 150 ml urine output per hour for 6 hours, or if the urinary sodium is less than 70 to 100 milliequivalent per liter after 2 hours of lasix, we can diagnose diuretic resistance ማለት ነው. So regarding management, early evaluation and loop diuretic intensification is important. If the patient has no inadequate response, there is an approach called sequential approach የሚባል አለ. እሱም ምንድነው doubling the loop diuretic and add thiazide or thiazide like diuretic, and the last option is ultrafiltration. ስለዚህ ይሄ ultrafiltration new heart failure management approach ነው. The first thing we should do is obtain a vascular access and start anticoagulation unless there is no contraindication for anticoagulation ማለት ነው. Then we should choose initial ultrafiltration rate based on the systolic BP ማለት ነው. ስለዚህ ሲስቶል ይሄኛው ከላሲክስም የተለየ ጥቅሙ ምንድነው? even the patient ሾኩም ውስጥ ቢሆን እንትኑን ማኔጅመንቱን ማቆም አይጠበቅብንም ማለት ነው. ስለዚህ ሲስቶሊክ ቢፒው ከመቶ በታች ከሆነ the filtration rate is 150 per cc per hour. If the systolic BP 100 to 120 millimeter mercury to 100, if it is systolic BP more than 120, the filtration rate set as 250 cc per hour ማለት ነው. So decrease the initial ultrafiltration rate by 50 ml per hour if any of the following, like right ventricular more than left ventricular dysfunction, and creatinine increased by 0.3 mg per deciliter. baseline creatinine ከሁለት በላይ ከሆነ እንተ ማድረግ ይኖርብናል ማለት ነው. አዘር ሞኒተር የምናደርጋቸው በአልትራፊልትሬሽን ጊዜ heart rate, blood pressure, and serum creatinine እና urine output ናቸው. ጎላችን የሚሆነው JVP-ውን ከ8 በታች ማውረድ, absence of dyspnea, trace or no peripheral edema, reduction in proBNP level by 30%. እነዚህ ታርጌት ጎላችን ናቸው ማለት ነው. ስለዚህ ይሄ very important የሆነ እንትን ነው, new treatment option for heart failure patient ነው. ሁለቱን ኮምፔር ስናደርጋቸው loop diuretic እና ultrafiltration, loop diuretic ያው ሜካኒዝሙ to eliminate hypnotic urine ነው. ultrafiltration to remove isotonic plasma water ነው. ስለዚህ loop diuretic unpredictable elimination of sodium and water ነው ያለው. ultrafiltration it is predictable removal of sodium and fluid ነው ማለት ነው. development of diuretic resistance is high in case of loop diuretic, but restoration of diuretic responsiveness is there in ultrafiltration. በጣም ከloop diuretic አንፃር ብዙ ጥቅሞች አሉት. no change in electrolyte, particularly potassium and magnesium, more effective decongestion, fewer heart failure event compared to loop diuretic, and ጀፈሩን ያሻሽልናል. efficacy and outcome wise it is very important. ስለዚህ ሁላችሁም ይህን ቻናል